Y'all see him in the streets struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
What's guys, just here. Welcome back to my channel. We're back to the reaction to The Last of Us. This is season 1, episode 3. Long time. Even though the show airs weekly, I feel like I've been waiting a long time for this next episode because we are 2 for 2 so far. This series is off to a great start. I did see some early review scores for this episode as well because I usually watch these episodes the day after they air, and every single review score that I saw was a perfect score. So it's got me even more excited, even more hyped going in. I did see also that Nick Offerman is actually guest starring in this episode, so I'm excited to see how he does in the show because I mainly know him for his comedic side, but I definitely want to see how he does in a more serious role. Also, I noticed that this is actually an extended episode, running almost as long as the series premiere, so I'm not going to take up too much more time. The only other thing I did want to say is Season 2 has been greenlit and confirmed. We are getting a second season, as if there was ever any doubt, because the series premiere got like 22 million viewers, so yeah, I'll discuss that more at the end, but that's definitely some good news that I'm very happy about. But if you guys look at my full reactions to the show, link to my Patreon is down in the description below. If you're already subscribed to the channel, now's a very good time to click that button down below, smash the like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in, let's check it out. Let's go. He's already been through so much. R.I.P. Tess. The voice actress that played her in the game just passed away too. It's all about balance. 10 miles west of Boston. Even though I'm pretty sure this was filmed in Canada.
Look, I've been thinking about...
I want your sorry.
I wasn't going to say
He
I'm
doesn't want to
sorry.
hear it.
I was going to say that I've been thinking about what happened. Don't blame me for something that isn't my fault.
She's not wrong there. You can tell he doesn't want to get too close to her, like form too much of a connection or a bond. Obviously due to losing his own daughter, but just that one scene alone, there's that instance where he threw over the food. He's already becoming like the father role once again.
What are you looking out for?
People.
Oh, your brother Frank nice?
Frank is.
You know, seeing as it's just the two of us, I was thinking I should
No. Lean back a minute. I gotta grab some stuff I stashed.
Stashed? Why do you have stuff stashed here?
He asked a lot of goddamn questions.
Yes, I do.
She really does.
You ever play this one? I had a friend who knew everything about this.
I did.
There's this one character named Melina who takes off her mask and she has monster teeth and then she swallows you whole and barfs out your bones.
Trust me, it's all been picked over already.
Maybe, maybe not.
Be careful.
Just you.
Ah, getting funnier.
Man, I wouldn't want to search anywhere on my own though. In this world, you never know what's behind every corner.
Fuck yeah.
There's one down there with her. Just fucking leave. They're all connected. What are you doing, Ellie? She better not jump out at him.
Picked over my ass. What are you doing?
There's not much ammo out there for this thing. Basically, it's useless.
Oh, if you're just gonna leave it there.
It's not yours.
No.
Holy shit. You flying one of those?
Yo.
Sure.
This was like one of the promotional stills right there, them looking up at that.
Time. Get shoved into the middle sea, pay $12 for a sandwich.
Dude, you got to go up in the sky.
Yeah, well, so did they.
Grim.
It's crazy to think about. She was born after, right? So the previous world she never got to experience.
How did it even start? If you have to get bit to be infected, then who bit the first person?
Some of it got into the food supply. Probably a basic ingredient like flour or sugar.
Even going back to the first episode, I saw some people talking about that, the flour.
You eat enough of it, it'll get you infected. About a week after Outbreak Day, soldiers went through the countryside, evacuated the small towns, told you were going to a QZ, and you were. If there was room. If there wasn't.
They just kill you?
Why not just leave him be?
Dead people can't be infected.
Yeah, I guess if there's no room in the QZs, if I keep them alive, they'll get infected eventually. Okay, I wasn't expecting this out of this episode. Just high note.
New World Order jackboot fox.
Ooh. He was stocked up. He was ready for the apocalypse. He was ready for war. Look at this man. There he is. He's going on a shopping spree. Hardware, supplies.
That was fast.
Yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. My only plan for the apocalypse is to take over Walmart. So for those who don't know, this is another character from the game, but we never got to see him like this. They're definitely showing more of his character. Ow! 4 years later, 2007. Okay, so we're not in the present just yet, but he's had some time to adjust. Yeah, it's like he's got his own island over here, his own country.
Did it hurt?
It's just a bruise.
It's just a bruise. Don't even mention it. I guess he's talking about cuts and infection points. Oh, nice. He's got his own tester, too.
Boston is that way. You can make it by nightfall.
I'm really hungry. Haven't eaten in 2 days.
Not his problem. Boston's that way.
Does it? First, my name's Frank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Frank. If I feed you, then every bum you talk to about it is going to show up here looking for a free lunch. And this is not an Arby's.
Well, Arby's didn't have free lunch. It was a restaurant.
Not the time,
I
Frank.
talk about it to any bums or hobos or vagabonds, I promise.
Dealing with the infected is one thing, but just not knowing if you could trust other humans. Man, I've seen, like, you guys have seen The Walking Dead, I'm sure. Humans are the real enemy. A little dusty. It's like super suspicious of him, as you should be. Look at the smile on his face.
What the fuck?
Everything tastes good when you're starving.
Yeah, but not like this. My God.
Compliments to the chef.
A man who knows to pair rabbit with a Beaujolais.
I know I don't seem like the type.
No, you
The way he was pouring, they're gonna get along just
There's
fine.
more.
if I can. So I guess I'll be going then. But first, you know how much these are worth?
Currently nothing.
For the
You gotta find a buyer first.
No, sir. No, thank you. Sorry. Not this one. Not this one.
Well, I'm not a professional.
Well, neither am I.
Let's hear you play.
And then I'll leave.
4 years alone. I feel like he just wanted some like companionship though too.
Sounds like good advice.
Much better.
No one at my side. I think I'm gonna love for a long, long
Nicely done. I can't play any instruments, so I'm impressed.
So, who's the girl? Girl you're singing about?
There is no girl.
I know.
Just going on in with it. He was like fighting it too.
What's your name? Bill. Go take a shower, Bill.
Bill and Frank sitting in a tree. Kissing.
Have you ever done this before? Not with anyone?
With a girl a long time ago.
I'm gonna start with the simple things.
Okay.
He's on board.
But before I do, I want you to know that I'm not a whore. So if I do this, I'm gonna stay for a few more days. Is that okay?
He's earning his keep.
Yes.
Oh, fuck you!
3 years later.
Hey, would you stop?
Do I ask for things? Ever? You live in a psycho bunker where 9/11 was an inside job and the government are all Nazis.
The government are all Nazis!
Look, yeah,
Like an old
yeah,
married
but
couple
not
over
them.
here.
I am asking for some paint and some gasoline for the lawnmower. That's all. I'll do everything else myself.
It is not
Bill,
a
if you say resource management, so help me, I will run through one of your tripwires.
That's exactly what it is.
Paying attention to things. It's how we show love.
They are rebuilding over here. At least one of them is.
Are we hosting formal garden parties now?
No. But we are going to have friends.
We don't have friends, Frank.
Yeah, you don't want friends in this world.
Because there are no friends to be had.
I've actually been talking to a nice woman on the radio.
You what?
Can you not, please?
They came over.
I'm the same way.
Oh, you're a
I
parent.
didn't even realize I was tested
I'm
first.
not schizophrenic.
I mean, I want to thank you, even if we don't end up working together. I really needed this.
We are working together. We are.
Bill's just staring down Joel.
Let's go inside. Yes, I want to show you something.
Actually, I have been wanting to see it.
Not inside.
Thank you. Yes.
Frank! Frank!
Frank! Frank!
But of all the people he could have found on the radio, were actually decent people just trying to get by.
Oh, well, aren't I the lucky one?
There's stuff we have in the QZ that you don't have here. That fence has got a year on it, tops. Galvanized wire already started to corrode. I can get you 10 spools of high tensile aluminum. Last you the rest of your life. Lives.
Resource management.
Yeah, I mean...
Now you're speaking his language.
Come back, we'll trade.
All right.
Oh, and I have this idea that there's codes for the radio in case anyone's listening.
Well, that's a good idea.
Hydra's never going to come up here. You're well protected against stray infected. Sooner or later, there'll be raiders. They'll beat that fence and your tripwires. They'll come at night, quiet and armed.
We'll be fine.
He's prepared. We've seen his stock already. 3 years later, 2013.
Ready?
Yes. Oh!
This little garden.
And test one of your guns for a packet of seeds.
Which gun?
A little one.
Damn, you can see how much it meant to him, too. He's giggling like a schoolgirl.
I'm sorry.
What?
Getting older faster than you.
Oh, I like you older. Older means we're still here. What?
He's getting emotional.
I was never afraid before you showed up.
Oh, you're gonna wreck the garden.
Right.
Just waiting for the Raiders to show up now. Yeah. It's kicking in. Yo! Good thing he had those. The hell did Bill do? God damn. Oh, he got hit.
We gotta get you inside.
Oh. In the gut.
Hold your hand there for me. Hold your hand there.
I made a list for you.
Huh? Tell me about the list.
I have copies of all the keys. You can't be here alone.
I'm not alone. You're here.
No.
Call Joel.
Call Joel.
So he knew Joel was good.
He'll take care of you.
Are they switching things up right now?
Bill?
Yeah, he's still standing. I was gonna say, this is all new, so I don't know what the hell's gonna go down here 10 years later. And now we're up to date. You're really struggling. It all started because he just found him in a hole. Thank God he didn't shoot him.
Took most of the night. I'm exhausted.
God damn it. I don't want you falling asleep in the chair.
I won't.
You will, and then your feet get blue.
No.
I'm not fighting about it. Back in
I
bed.
promise you I'm gonna stay up.
Why?
Because this is my last day.
What?
What if we find a doctor? What if someone shows up who can help?
Who's coming, Bill? The door-to-door MRI salesman? I've made up my mind.
Wants to go on his own terms. This is actually pretty sad.
I'm not going to give you the every day was a wonderful gift from God speech. I've had a lot of bad days, but I've had more good days with you than with anyone else. Just give me one more good day. Starting now, make me some toast. Then take me to the boutique and we'll get married. And you cook a delicious dinner. Then you will crush all of these up, put them in my wine. I will drink it, and I will fall asleep in your arms.
Man, that's brutal. I mean, he's going out on his own terms. One final day together. Sounds like a nice day, but that's rough.
Do you love me?
Yes.
Then love me the way I want you to.
I was not expecting an episode like this, I'll tell you that much going in. Like, we barely gotten any Joel and Ellie, and I don't even mind. This is a great episode. Whew. Just like when they first met. It's crazy, we've seen their entire relationship over the course of the last hour, like 20 years. 16 years, I guess. He's doing it. Wasn't sure if he's going to be able to. He's going for it.
Were there already pills in the bottle?
Enough to kill a horse. This isn't the tragic suicide at the end of the play. I'm old. I'm satisfied. And you were my purpose.
I do not support this, but from an objective point of view, it's incredibly romantic.
Romeo and Juliet, or Romeo and Robio.
Take me to bed.
Whew, this is not what I was expecting out of this episode at all. My God. So sad though. Wasn't sure if they're just gonna end the episode right there.
Stay there.
I gotta give them super props. So much praise though for that, because we didn't get any of that in the video game, and honestly, it adds like a whole nother level to the characters, Bill and Frank.
Bill? Frank?
To whomever, but probably Joel.
So they're dead?
If you find this, please do not come into the bedroom. We left the window open so the house wouldn't smell, but it will probably be a sight. I'm guessing you found this, Joel, because anyone else would have been electrocuted or blown up by one of my traps.
There's that humor.
Anyway, I never liked you, but still, it's like we're friends. Almost. And I respect you. I used to hate the world, and I was happy when everyone died. But I was wrong. Because there was one person worth saving. That's what I did. I saved him. That's why men like you and me are here. We have a job to do. And God help any motherfuckers who stand in our way.
Hell yeah.
I leave you all of my weapons and equipment. Use them to keep
you and Tess safe. It definitely resonates with him now more than ever.
Stay here.
Except Tess, you gotta protect Ellie now. He didn't have to give up either. He could have kept on going. He just didn't want to. Not without Frank. Damn.
Just finished making the truck battery. It's charging right now.
Okay.
I have a brother out in Wyoming. He used to be a firefly.
Tommy!
My guess is he knows where some of them are out there. Maybe they can get you to whatever this lab is.
Guess that's our next stop.
Listen, about Tess.
Don't.
If I'm taking you with me, there's some rules you gotta follow. Rule 1, you don't bring up Tess, ever. Matter of fact, we can just keep our histories to ourselves. You do what I say when I say it. We clear?
Yes.
Repeat it.
What you say goes. So what now?
We grab what we can.
Dude,
No.
You still don't get a gun.
there's a wall of them.
You really should take one. Or grab a pistol or something.
Well, don't you look pretty?
She's got one now.
Shut up. It's your first time in a car?
It's like a spaceship.
Oh, it's like a piece of shit Chevy S10, but it'll get us there. Seatbelt.
She doesn't even know.
Seatbelt.
So cool.
Oh, no, wait. No, leave it. Leave it. Oh, this is good. This is Linda Ronstadt.
It's better than nothing.
Knowing that you want me, I've done everything I know.
There's their window open.
For a long, long time.
That was a song from the piano. Wow. Got me a little bit emotional there at the end, too. Whew. Alright, guys. That was The Last of Us. Season 1, Episode 3. Long, long time from the song. Now it makes sense. And whoa. That was an emotional episode, especially, man, it almost got me at the end again. Craziness. So I held pretty strong throughout for most of the episode, but there's a few scenes there, man, where whew, I almost broke down, I gotta say. So fantastic performance by Nick Offerman. I don't know the actor that played Frank, but I thought he did fantastic as well. And this was so much different from the video games. I'll just say that. So if anybody doesn't want to know what takes place in the first video game in regards to Bill and Frank, now is your time to skip ahead or just go to my next reaction. Go to my last reaction, replay that, give that a like and subscribe while you're there. But no, so just going back to the game a little bit, because they definitely switched things up a little bit in regards to the series. That was all new. Yes, there's a Bill character, there's a Frank character in the video game. From what I recall, we don't even actually meet Frank. At least not while, spoiler, he's alive. So Yeah, they definitely, I don't know why they decided to switch things up, but I gotta say, I think it was actually for the best. Aside from the ending of Bill, I wasn't happy about that. It makes sense regardless of the story with him going to, taking himself out, dying along with Frank, but in the game, yeah, it's not like that at all. So basically, very quickly here, I'm gonna try to say it as best as I can from what I can remember from the video game. When Joel and Ellie get to Bill's town, Frank has basically already abandoned Bill and just basically run off on his own. I think he took like the what was it, the battery or something. He took something basically to get away, leave Bill and just take off on his own. And then he's found, I think, hung where while he was taking off on his own, pretty sure he got bit. And then instead of going back to Bill or just leaving, he just basically hung himself before he turned. So that's a lot different than what we actually just saw in this episode here. And then they kind of relayed the info afterwards in the game. Joel and Ellie, that they found his body. They found out that he was actually taken off. He was abandoning Bill. And yeah, we kind of see Bill like break down a little bit. He's just as much of a dick in the game, I will say that. But everything else from the game to the series, Bill and Frank, completely different. So, and we don't, from what I recall too, I don't even think Bill kills himself at the end. He gives them the truck and they just basically take off. And then he decides like he just needs to be alone. I can't remember, man, I really need to play the game again. I can't remember if he kills himself afterwards, but from what I recall, he gives them the truck and then just like, just go. I need to be alone because yeah, he's forever alone now. So yeah, they definitely switched things up quite a bit. It was like a love story and I really enjoyed it. I gotta say, I was not expecting that at all going into this episode. A Bill and Frank centric love story episode, especially from the past. I was definitely expecting to see Bill this episode because I was pretty sure that Offerman was playing him, Nick Offerman, but I wasn't sure about Frank. I wasn't sure that we're going to get flashbacks. I wasn't sure about any of that. So the fact that the entire episode played out that way, we got very little Joel and Ellie. But I was not even complaining. I don't even mind at all because this episode was that good. The story that they were telling, and it was a brand new story too. So I wouldn't be surprised you go online, you're going to see a few hardcore video game fans where they're going to be like, yeah, they ruined it. They switched up everything. They changed the entire Bill story. I'm not a fan. Worst episode ever. But from what I saw before going into this episode, all the critic review scores were like 10s, 9s and 10s. So at least from a critic standpoint, I don't think anybody was minding in regards to the change and the switch up for the characters. But you already know there's going to be a few hardcores out there. I got to be honest with you guys, at least for myself personally, I don't mind the changes, and in some ways, some of them were actually even better than what we got from the game because we got none of this backstory, none of this past, none of these flashbacks in the game at all. So they kind of added like a whole new layer to these characters that we never even seen before. So I really did appreciate that, especially with Bill, because I did like the Bill character from the game, even though he was always a dick and we didn't really get much of him. He still helped Joel and Ellie in the end. So yeah, I'm not too pissed off about the changes, but I would have preferred seeing him live just because I did like him, but at the same time, I get it 100%. Like, he didn't want to go on without his partner, and it was like a real love story there. When the world went to shit and everybody died, he was not even mad. Like, he had always hoped for that, but he was wrong in the end because he found that one person that he did want to save and protect and be with and love. So, man, that was actually super touching. It was a heartbreaking story. It breaks my heart. So, seeing their ultimate fate at the end there, I'm glad they didn't actually go into the room and show that. They didn't need to show that. Just that one shot of the window open at the very end there, like he said he was going to leave the window open, that was perfection. That's all you needed. And they didn't need to go overboard. We didn't need to see any more than that. But aside from the love story we got this episode, we didn't really get too much in regards to clickers or infected. We saw Ellie mess around a little bit with the one in the basement. That was a very interesting scene because that was kind of like morbidly curious, I guess she was, when she's like slicing open the forehead. You see the insides too, so like all fungus and mold and super nasty. So we didn't see any more of the tendrils, but that's probably a good thing. Well, we saw some fungus growing out too, some fungi out of the eye. Super nasty, man. The makeup effects, we got to give full props to them because even though it's only January, well, it's almost February, but it's still January, just start of the year, 2023 still, very beginning of the year. I'm telling you guys right now, this is going to be the best show that we get all year. So soak it in, guys, because we're already 3 episodes in. We only have 6 more episodes to go, and I do not want this show to end already. Thank God we are getting a season 2, and thank God it's already been confirmed and greenlit because I'm loving this. That whole scene with Joel and Ellie, and well, I should even talk about it even before then because Man, the cinematography that we're getting out of this episode too. Who directed this episode? Let me see here. All right, this one was directed by Peter Hoare, and he did a fantastic job because even with the episode where it started with Joel by the water side there, just stacking some rocks. I don't know if that was kind of like supposed to symbolize balance in his life or what he needs, and just Ellie being there maybe is the rock. The balance, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I really did appreciate that. And just them crossing the bridge and making their way over. Man, the cinematography was absolutely fantastic. Like, beautiful. That's literally what it was. So I really did enjoy that. Then going back to the one scene there right before Ellie found the one infected in the basement. Man, that's like a shot straight out of the game. Like the locations that you loot and you raid that yourself, you find materials. That's exactly what you go into in the game. So to see that come to life, man, I can't express enough like how good of a job everyone is doing. Yes, the acting is fantastic. The directing is fantastic. The budget is there clearly, but you got to give props to the makeup department. You got to give props to the set designers, like the costume designers. Everybody involved is making the show what it is. And I think this episode showed too, because I said it last time around in regards to adaptions and just it being adapted, how it's so faithful to the game. And I was saying like, this is how you do a proper adaptation or an adaptation. This is how it's done. And then this time around, they completely pulled the rug out from under me. They switched things up completely from the video games, and I love it just as much. So that really goes to show when you know what you're doing, you have a good story that you're telling. It doesn't really matter if you do stay 100% truthful or faithful to the game. Yes, I would very much like it if you do, but at the same time, you can kind of deviate from time to time. Go a little bit off, make it your own a little bit. Just don't go too far with the changes. That's all that I ask. What they did this episode was absolutely perfect, and they didn't really need to do anything more than that. So I really did like what they did this episode. And I really like the foreshadowing too by Joel to Bill when he's like, yeah, hey, protect yourself. If your fences don't hold up, Raiders are going to be coming. That's the first thing. Never mind the affected. Raiders are the ones that got to be worried about. And they'll be coming in the middle of the night when you least expect it, when you're sleeping. That's when they'll attack. And that's exactly how it played out because Joel knows. So yeah, that was... And then seeing it play out like that, man, so intense. I wasn't sure exactly where Bill was at first either. When Frank woke up, he just screamed, he's like, Bill! Bill! He goes out there, I'm like, oh God, is Frank gonna be shot? He's gonna be killed off. Well, Bill was like already getting prepared, running to grab some guns or something. That wasn't the case. It was actually Bill that got shot. When he got shot, I was like, fuck, they're actually gonna kill off Bill. Thank God that didn't happen. He actually ended up surviving that. They skipped ahead a few more years. They grew old together, and then we saw what eventually came of the two, and just their final day there, man, that was so brutal to watch. It was like super sweet also, because I was saying it too during the episode, like, most people will never have that privilege or the power of knowing, the ability to know that it's your final day and to spend it with your loved one however you want to spend it, have like the best day of your lives together. Most people don't get that privilege, so it was kind of heartbreaking them see it do it. And then that's why I was thinking like, Bill is not going to be able to go through with this at the end. I don't think he's going to actually crush it up and pour it into Frank's drink. I don't think he's going to let him go through with it. I think he's just going to say, like, plead to him, like, please stay. I will stay with you. I will nurse you like he already has been up until that point. I will be the one to keep you alive. Just don't do this. And then in the end, they really switched it up. Instead of that playing out the way I thought it was going to play out, he decided to go with them. So yeah, that was heartbreaking, man. That was rough to see. I almost broke down. You guys saw the reaction there. I was definitely teary-eyed, but I'm pretty sure I held together where no tears fell, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. But at the same time, man, even thinking about it right now, I'm getting a little bit teary-eyed again. So I think I'm going to end it there. This was a fantastic episode. Nothing like I thought it was going to be going in. I knew there was going to be some Bill stuff. I just didn't know it was going to be like this because we didn't get any of this stuff from the video games. This whole backstory, just seeing the whole relationship of Frank and Bill, we didn't get any of that from the game. So I absolutely love. That's why part of the reason why I was thinking too, I was like, man, they're showing us a lot of like flashbacks and backstory with Bill and Frank here. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a two-parter now where they show us all this and then next episode is where they actually show what we actually got from the games. But nope, that wasn't the case at all. So now it's upwards and onwards. We got the truck. We got the resources. We're on our way to go find Tommy to see wherever the hell he's at. So yeah, fantastic episode. I really enjoyed it. This was a longer one too. The fact that they made it longer and spent the time with these characters, letting us get to know these characters, character development, that's the word I'm looking for. Man, absolutely phenomenal. Much like Frank was giving compliments to the chef and to Bill for everything that he made, all their sweet ass meals, I'm giving compliments to the chefs involved in this episode because it was absolutely fantastic. So another one down, guys. 3 episodes down. Whew. So freaking good. Best show of the year. But as always, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Till next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't full enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn. You play me like a yo-yo and shit. Well, I'm not the one to be yo-yo and